the art world, conceptual art is a polarizing topic of discussion, with some claiming it to be the best movement to come out of the mid-century and others claiming it to be complete bourgeoisie bullshit. Conceptual art is so polarizing because of how complicated it is to explain exactly what it is, and how its ambiguity allows for nearly any object to be considered art just because it claims to be. It is also polarizing because of the way art institutions gobble up conceptual art, making the market value of sometimes immaterial objects to be worth millions of dollars. When a banana is taped to the wall at Art Basel and sold for $120,000, one might get frustrated that a six-figure rotting banana exists, while another would find brilliance in the concept. As easy as it is to scoff at a conceptual art piece upon first viewing, when the viewer finally does have that aha moment with the art, a feeling of deep understanding takes over. Good conceptual art should be able to create a strong reaction and connection with the viewer on a personal level. This is the case with the polarizing conceptual work of Tracey Emin and the strong connection it has with the female experience. Tracey Emin is a British sculptor, painter, photographer, and conceptual artist whose work is first and foremost confessional and autobiographical. She explains her personal life experiences through visual storytelling. Because of this, to understand Emin's work, you must understand her background. Born on July 3, 1963, Tracey Emin grew up in the small town of Margate, England, and was forced to live in poverty after Emin's father left without leaving her single mother and twin brother any money. When she was 13, she was raped and dropped out of school that same year. When she was 15, she moved to London, where she lived for 2 years before studying fashion at Medway College of Design, Rochester. It was here that she met avant-garde personality, painter, and future partner Billy Childish. Their work together at Childish's press, her art studies at Maidstone Art College, and her eventual M.A. in painting at the Royal College of Art helped Emin mature as an artist. In the self-destructive pattern that Emin seems to repeat throughout her life, she destroyed all of her work from the Royal College during an emotionally traumatic time shortly after graduating. Emin's career started a few years after graduation with a shop she opened in London, where she sold handmade items in 1993. Shortly after, she had her first exhibition, titled My Major Retrospective, at the renowned White Cube Gallery in 1993 to 94. This exhibition included objects and photographs from her childhood up until the time of the exhibition, such as a hospital bracelet, teenage diaries, drawings, photographs of her art school work, a patchwork quilt with hand-stitched letters and names of her family members, and much more. Emin is not afraid to share deeply personal experiences with her audience. This can be seen in her later work, such as her piece Everyone I Have Ever Slept With, 1963 to 1995, where she displays every person she has slept with, both sexually and literally, in embroidered patchwork on a ready-made tent. My Bed was conceived after Emin lived in her bed for days following a breakup. Emin's bed is unmade, stained with sweat, and surrounded by extremely personal objects such as a pregnancy test, used tissues, period-stained underwear, and empty liquor bottles. After getting up to take a bath, Emin looked at her bed in a moment of clarity and saw it as art. I personally resonate with Emin's work, as I and so many other young women have felt ashamed of their sexual history, menstruation, not always being clean and hygienic, and feeling crushed under the pressure of acting how a woman is supposed to act. Emin's confessions through visual storytelling allows her female viewers to feel a sense of solidarity within her work, allowing the viewer to reflect on the shame and take solace in knowing that she isn't alone in the guilt. This visceral reaction and reflection, catalyzed by Emin's work, is precisely what conceptual art is capable of doing. However, for those who cannot relate to the female experiences of shame, Emin's bed is just a bed. They get upset that a bed is a highly renowned piece of work that was sold at a 2014 auction for 2.5 million euros. This is the polarizing nature of contemporary art, and Emin's art in particular. Emin has been endlessly criticized for her work. In an article written for the Tate Museum, Melanie McGrath writes, "Crude, primitive, uninteresting, ill-informed, objectionable. All these words have been used in print to support the opinion, held by many, that Tracey Emin is a worthless con artist." As with conceptual art in general, she is criticized for how monetarily valuable her art is. The Charles Thompson pop art style painting, Sir Nicholas Sirota makes an acquisitions decision, depicts the former director of the Tate Gallery looking at a pair of red underwear and asking in a thought bubble, is it a genuine Emin, $10,000, or a worthless fake? It is clear to see why people might have criticisms about conceptual art in Emin's work, and I am not claiming that these critiques are invalid. I am, however, inclined to reflect on the fact that most of Emin's most outspoken critics are men. I understand that these men are intelligent artists who do have foundations for their criticisms, but I believe there is an element to Emin's work that men will never be able to fully understand on a personal level. Tracey Emin utilizes conceptual art to create a visceral reaction among female viewers, and in the process alienates her male viewers. For me and many other women, while looking at my bed, we don't just see an expensive, unmade bed. We see our shame and uncleanliness. We see ourselves.